that discussion into today's discussion, there's something about the Olympics that's teaching Canada some tough lessons about globalization. It's another way to think about this. We used to think we owned hockey. We don't own it anymore. We used to think we owned curling. We don't own it anymore. We're really good at these games, and we're fiercely proud of how good we are at these games, but we don't own them anymore. That's the world we're in now. Skip Martin is going to have to fight like hell to hold that medal against countries that we didn't even know did curling 10 years ago. And now we've got to get our way into that final through Germany, and by God we will. But this is the world we're in. It's a world in which Canada has to understand that we can lose it by a millimeter. We can lose it by a quarter second. And we have to be ready for that kind of competition. So this morning when one of you said, you know, we've got to go up to a little town a couple of 100 kilometers south of the Arctic Circle, to a place in Finland that none of you have ever heard of, he was doing the right thing. We've got to go and look at these countries that have got it right. We've got to turn ourselves out and ask ourselves a tough question. Is someone else out there doing it better than us? How can we learn? How can we get better? How can we get faster? How can we get those margins down? C'est ça que j'apprends des Olympiques. C'est que nous sommes un pays fort, surtout en sport d'hiver. Mais il faut travailler. Il faut apprendre des autres pays. Il faut investir dans nos athlètes. Il faut investir dans nos meilleurs. Il ne faut pas se décourager. Mais il faut s'ouvrir, c'est ça. Il faut s'ouvrir au monde. We've got to open ourselves up to the world, to Finland, to all these countries, which are just nudging us out by a millimeter here. And that's how you win. That's how you win. That's the lesson I take from the Olympics, and it's an encouraging message. But it means we have to be the most international society in the world. And I mention this, I have some feeling about this. My adversaries reproach me for having been outside the country a little bit. I make no apologies. I want more Canadians to try their best against what the world has to offer, and then come back and fight for Canada. So we have to be the most international country in the world. And that's a stretch. But I can see it in this room. I can see the curiosity to reach out and learn from other countries. And that's a tremendous advantage. We have to be the best educated society in the world. And everywhere this morning we were talking about that. And people say, well, he's from Harvard, so that must mean he only cares about post-secondary. Get it out of our heads here. Education starts with early learning and child care, remember? You start with the kids at 18 months, and you begin to move their educational attainments right throughout life. And you keep on going. We've got to put this together into a vision of lifelong learning. Some of you liberals will know the first speech I gave as leader of this party in Vancouver committed our party to lifelong learning as a national objective. I'm still there, I'm still saying it, and I will say it until it gets heard, until we change the country. It's crucial. Best opportunity program we've got. We're looking at labor shortages. We're looking at that demographic transition where all the baby boomers go out, and then we'll be in the weird situation of having labor shortages and high unemployment. How about that? And we'll have both of them because we don't have the skilled and qualified people to fill those spots. So the colleges have to step up. The universities have to step up. We cannot afford to be a country where 40% of our fellow citizens don't have literacy level above level 3. Listen to what that great woman from Nova Scotia said to us this morning. This is a national story. We've got to get that solved. And then people say to me, but that's not a federal responsibility. Education is provincial. I understand. I've read the Constitution the same way you have. But this is about national leadership and national strategies. We have to have a national strategy here. And the great thing about the federal government is that it has the power to convene. It has the power to put people in a room. It has the power to put some money on the table, right? And that's my vision of federal leadership. Let's put the jurisdictions aside for the moment and say, we have a problem.